Hey there, this is Agrippa from Agrippa's Laboratory, and of course, the League of Extraordinary Frontmen. I just wanted to make this video to show you my workspace. It's a modest workspace. I cleaned it up just for you. It's usually a complete mess because I'm always working on something. But let's go over and take a look at some of the stuff that I do and some of the stuff that I use in making models, painting stuff, making dioramas, all sorts of great stuff like that. Over here I have some dioramas that I just finished. This was my first one right here, and yeah, this one came out okay. I mean, I could have done some things differently, but for the most part it does what it's supposed to do. It's good for taking photography of action figures. This is my latest one. It has a removable back, so eventually what I'm going to do is make something like this, which is in a work in progress. And this will have magnets on the bottom and will be interchangeable with the G.I.Joe background. So depending on what figures I'm taking pictures of, I can just swap out the background. And over here I have some props I can use for picture taking. Just a few things that I painted up, and well, this is going to be this one right here. That's going to be going to a particular figure, but most of these are just like for background stuff. I've got some little lights for lighting. I got some props that I'll be painting up to make look really nice. Just for background stuff, make pictures a little bit more interesting. Got some works in progress up here, some larger pieces. That's right, that's the Warthog. I'm going to be doing a complete repaint of that. I've got a his tank I'm working on. You can see some highlighting on there, just some dry brushing. I want to make it look more realistic. The treads are going to be, kind of have some weathering on them. A little buggy I'm working on. Some old pieces of Teenage Ninja Turtle stuff that I'm going to be painting up, or just using pieces of. I haven't decided. I've been doing some experimenting on some of those with some washes to see how the paint reacts to it. Stuff I use to finish the models to give them a nice coating. And here's some of the paints that I used for a variety of different things. You can see I've got, for larger projects like dioramas and stuff like that, if I need to cover a large area, I usually use some of the cheaper paints that you can find at Joann Fabrics or Hobby Lobby or whatever. This one I just discovered recently. It's actually a spray-on paint. It's not a regular spray bottle with aerosol, which melts styrofoam. I can spray this on and then spread it out. I've been experimenting with that, and it seems to be working good. So like I said, for larger projects, I use the cheaper paints. For painting figures themselves, I use mostly Citadel paints. I used to paint miniatures for Warhammer 40,000 and all sorts of other games for Games Workshop, and so I have some experience with painting those, and this is just a larger scale, and I'm painting G.I.Joe figures. You can see I've got one on deck right here. This is actually a Marauder figure that I'm going to be making into G.I.Joe Grand Slam, a modern version of him. So, different parts, and I had to order some more stuff. I need to get a vest for him and stuff like that. That's what that backpack was for up there. And let's see, as far as paints go, there's a couple I use. Formula P3. Of course, what I use probably the most is have it on black. And you can tell by my paint water that I used to wash my brushes, I need to change that very quickly, very soon. For super glue, this is the stuff to use. Brush on super glue. It's a lot more accurate. Again, this also melts styrofoam, so I tend to use, instead of that, I use my hot glue gun. That works beautifully. Although if it gets too hot, it also melts styrofoam, so you need to be careful. What else do I have here? Like I said, I have a whole variety of different colors I can use. For most of the G.I. Joes, I use this striking green. It's a military grade green. I try to make them all kind of uniform to a certain extent. And of course, there's other stuff too. Sandry dust for a more like desert look or whatever. So those are all the paints I use. There's a spray adhesive. This is really cool. But again, because it's an aerosol, it will melt styrofoam, so I tend to use that for non-styrofoam things. This is something I just picked up. My new best friend, Mod Podge. It's great for coating things, large surfaces. I haven't tried it on figures themselves yet, but I'll probably do it in small doses just to reinforce some joints so paint doesn't scrape off of those. I got my cup full of Sharpie markers. The one I use the most is right here. Metallic silver. It's an alternative to actually painting silver on, and it works quite well, as you can tell from stuff like that. It's a quicker way to do it, and it stays. And over here is just a parts box. Got a bunch of stuff there. Just basic body parts and different projects I'm working on. Pieces, heads, legs, all sorts of stuff I can pick from. And that's just the beginning. These are my major parts boxes. Okay, you can see I've got tons of stuff in there. I've got, you know, different sections of heads. I've got these are kind of sidearm things like that, pouches and stuff I can add. Whole bunch of backpacks, more like web gear, stuff like that. It's great. There's a cape, you can see that. A bunch of helmets, and I got, you can see tons and tons of pieces that I can choose from. Making customs, and here are some more body parts. Some spare parts for figures that I can use to make stuff. And this is my arsenal. Get that light out of the way. My arsenal, I've got tons and tons of weapons in here. I have them all divided up so I can get to them really easily. You have your rifles, your submachine guns, bazookas and stuff, handguns. Over here is hand-to-hand combat weapons, and then there's a variety of a whole bunch of stuff like backpacks and accessories and all sorts of great stuff there. This is where I do my figure photography. This is just this is actually the first background I ever created, just for simple figure photography. If you notice the background is just black, I'll use that sometimes. I also have interchangeable pieces, so I can just slip that right back there. It forms kind of a more interesting background. I've got a few of those that I use. This one for Cobra. There's another one for Cobra. So just different backgrounds I can slip back there or whatever. This is just foam board. A really simple piece to make. It was actually my first experiment with doing something like this. It's just like a staging area. It's really simple to do. Simple techniques of making stones, flooring, that's all dry brushing and stuff like that. It was my first attempt. It worked. It serves this purpose. Over here I have also, when I'm displaying figures, if I just did a new custom, I had this spinny wheel thing. And it spins slowly so you can see all around the figure. I post these on Instagram a lot, so you'll get like a full coverage of what the figure looks like. And of course, in addition to that, I made this little display thing I can put them on to make it a little bit more interesting. Really simple to make. Just a lot of dry brushing and picking away at the side. You make it look like it's all rocky and muddy and stuff like that. So that works. And another alternative one too, it's just like a floor. Different projects I'm working on. Like I said, I've got Grand Slam here. I've got this backboard I'm working on. Let me dry a little bit more before I dry brush that. I've got a Cobra sticker I'm going to stick right on there. It's going to look just like the G.I.Joe one. I've got a variety of different heads I'm painting. Heads on a stick. And I'm working on a remake of Serpentor. One of the most important tools of modeling is this. Interchangeable tips. So I use this to drill out the bottoms of heads for figures that don't have them, so I can fit them onto the G.I. Joe figures. This one actually bores right in there and creates a good hole to put the neck pegs on. But you can attach drill bits to this, sanders, all sorts of great stuff. I highly recommend one of these if you're doing your own custom stuff. So that's going to be it. Thanks for stopping by and checking out this video and coming into my workspace and checking out where I make all my stuff. I'll be doing a lot more videos like this of custom-made stuff and all sorts of great things like that. I'm actually going to start doing some commission work very soon, so looking forward to doing that. I've got some ideas of what I want to do. For now, please hit subscribe and don't forget to listen to League of Extraordinary Frontmen on metalsyndicate-ct.com. That's Syndicate with a C.